enjoy how this episode starts pretty much exactly where Bojack's story ended last episode. It gives a strong sense of continuity right before reality gets fucked up. Plus, this plotting, marching drum theme in the background really ups the tension of this scene. This episode wastes no time, and it really can't afford to, given how much ground it has to cover.
You remember?
Henrietta, I am talking to the sun.
The fact that Bojack being Henrietta has been planted across this entire season is just smart writing.
But you're also a star.
Wait, Mom, do you remember?
I like how Bojack pauses, showing that he would care if he remembered her, hinting for later.
Isn't that right, Henrietta?
Yes, Mrs. Horseman, that's right.
And immediately we're shown who Henrietta actually is, and set up for the mystery of why people's faces are scratched out. Don't worry, I'll get into it further later. It's just amazing writing that there's so many mysteries set up for this episode without ever fully addressing them. Ugh. The fluid transitions between differently aged Beatrices. Beatrice? Love the dream-like feeling that this fading atmosphere gives these memories. And I love that the latter is distorted to show her perception of how difficult it was to climb this as a child.
Led by Miss Clamelia Bloodsworth.
I always find it interesting that Clamelia's face isn't scratched out. I think it's because Beatrice more pitied her than anything, which is a fascinating part to her character. Book title transitions.
Reading does nothing for young women but build their brains, taking valuable resources away from their breasts and hips.
Joseph is awful as always. Gives more context for why Beatrice is like she is.
How could you not have known she has scarlet fever? Say something, damn it! What has become of you?
Her mom only being shown as a shadow, like a ghost, is terrifying and eerie.
In fact, some good may yet come of this. Doctor says your throat is nearly swollen shut, so perhaps you'll finally lose some of that weight that's given you such trouble.
Wow! New levels of awful.
Will it end poverty, war, and injustice, or bring back civil rights activist Medgar Evers, who was shot in Mississippi this week?
And I love how outspoken about social issues Beatrice is. I, for one, was floored to hear this stuff come out of her mouth.
His death means no one else will be assassinated this year, 1963.
Terrible joke, but it's really, really good. They're so great at period humor.
So, you look nice.
Thank you, Corbin. That's the third time you've told me. You needn't tell me again.
I don't really like Beatrice, obviously, but she's kind of serving cunt here, and we love to see it.
Corbin's father...
The glitches are very disorienting and always are effective at making me jump, like Beatrice does. Plus, the transitions are always really smart.
Think of all the free ice cream you could, serve to other people.
Still doesn't let her eat ice cream. A running theme throughout her life.
You look nice.
Thank you.
And this transition is super fluid, showing that all the memories are also just kind of melting together. It's not always a harsh jump.
Scotch on the rocks.
I love that the details get added late, like her not noticing Butterscotch until after he glitches into the environment. It's very scattered, and it's like she's living through these memories rather than reflecting on them.
Ginsburg, Cassidy, Squirrel and Getty. This is where you ask me if those are towns and I smirk at you.
Butterscotch has definitely changed from this man, too, but I do like that you can see what his opinion of women is like before he becomes overtly terrible. He assumes she won't know anything automatically.
I like Ginsburg, all right, but if you ask me, that Squirrel and Getty is nuts.
Ha! Corny, but I love it.
But what is it about? Who are the characters?
Well, I never claimed to have the whole thing sorted out just yet, did I?
Sounds like a bestseller.
And they do have chemistry. I could see them being happy under different circumstances.
But she had a diamond just like yours. I saw it in a picture once.
Oh, what a cute pickup line. I'm sure he'll never say that to another woman.
What?
I'd like to leave her here. Can I pay for the next 5 years in a lump sum now so I don't have to think about her again?
And I like that there's sometimes random moments where she's semi-lucid and it kind of interrupts the flow of the memories we were watching. Nothing is neat or orderly in this episode. The blank faces on the announcer and the background characters is also such a nice touch, as she can't remember everyone's face, especially these unimportant players. The shadow over Honey's face again. She is just not present after this surgery.
What precise movements. Beautiful trot. Truly outstanding.
Ugh, so creepy. Perfect because this tradition is horrific. Details are getting fudged again. Grenade He-Toll is a well-known example of the detail put into this episode, with small differences like this showing up quite frequently in the background.
You want me to leave my own party with you?
Yeah, but I suppose Daddy wouldn't like that, would he?
Okay, well, that line sounded hot with Will Arnett's voice, so can you blame her?
Oh, Beatrice.
The fucking horse noises as they bone, so ridiculous. As serious as this show gets, it just has the most insane joke immediately after. Something I literally just noticed, by the way, this bear in the background is having trouble eating this baguette because he has no mouth. So good.
But I got ideas too, and I feel I never get to be anything other than what he expects me to be.
I love that as Corbin reveals his true colors, the environment becomes more saturated. Like she was about to fall in love with this guy and live a great life. And then...
Oh dear!
Using the goat scream.
The number you gave me was to a pizza parlor in Brownsburg.
The apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Bojack does this almost exact same ploy to Marcy.
Bopper, can you give us some privacy, please?
Sure thing, Butterscotch. You take it easy.
This guy having a normal voice after hearing the nice scams is such a great touch.
Who has a friend who knows a doctor who can take care of such inconveniences. I'm happy to do the gentlemanly thing and pay for the cab fare.
Pay for the cab fare. Wow. This show is so great at making fun of morals of older times. As if that is the gentlemanly thing.
No.
This cut with the high-pitched note and the creepy ambiance is extremely effective. Unsettles the audience and prepares them for later tragedy. Oh, so sad this fairy tale doesn't pan out. The immediate cut to unhappiness is wonderfully jarring.
Well, if Squirrelin' Getty and his horde of commie, liberal, Jew-loving rejects knew what good writing was, I'd be able to sell something.
Oh, so that's where it started. Makes sense. And actually making these previously generally terrible parents fluid characters was such a smart choice. So glad that they spent time on this.
You better be worth all this.
And that's where that started. Wonderful. Plus, substance abuse. It's just great to see the source of all of these problems have snowballed into such glaring issues.
Once upon a time. Quiet. Your father's home.
And I love the wallpaper shaking when the door slams. It kind of shows the effect just him coming home has on the energy of the house.
Maybe if the goddamn baby wasn't crying all the time, I could finish the goddamn novel.
I'm not a baby, I'm 6.
I feel like this whole baby crying thing could be a symptom of Beatrice's faulty memory, accidentally blending the arguments that they've had together since they're all kind of very similar.
Hello? You're always... Why don't you go outside and play or do something? You are fine.
A really succinct way to show Bojack being ignored out of the house.
Will you help me pack this? I want to bring it to my son.
Oh, that's so nice.
Henrietta showing her face causes the screen to glitch. I love how much of a presence this character has throughout the episode. So mysterious.
Father. I'm giving it to Bojack.
Another really harsh cut to add to the creepy tone. Another nice detail where at this flash of Joseph's funeral, Beatrice is her present self, holding the painting, smoking the cigarette, wearing her current clothes, almost as if she's still living through it right now.
Oh, I'm sure she makes you feel like a big, smart man, never challenges you, and thanks you for helping her study for nursing school.
Wendy Malick kills this character. She's so expressive and nails the condescending tone that Beatrice employs so well.
Won't she be disappointed?
I don't know why you don't just get a divorce already.
Excellent flash, and I love using the painting as a through line.
It belonged to your grandfather, a man who knew what marriage meant.
I love these cuts. His fridge being full of sugar and lemons is an insane detail. If you're wondering, it's from this moment earlier this season.
You can sprinkle some sugar on a lemon. That's a good healthy girl snack.
I got a date with Tanya Harding tonight.
This is also a reference to another joke earlier in the season. These writers, man, they don't forget a single thing they put on pieces of paper.
Some people like silly stories.
A lot of good they ever did me.
It's not Ibsen, but...
It's not Ibsen is what she said about his show when she saw it live. Either he's internalized that criticism, or her own criticism is bleeding through into this memory. Either way, a great callback. An excellent montage of cuts to bring that creepy tone to its zenith for the ending sequence. Also shows all the pain that she takes in with each drag. Okay, that was emo as fuck, but it's true.
You think I enjoy groveling to my own wife, hat in hand?
Nice! Love it! And the fading family portraits is a really nice touch too. Just excellent details of these memory disparities.
I know you hate me, B. But please, just think of the poor girl.
Might be one of the only human moments we ever get from this character.
He said you reminded him of his dead mother.
He said she had hair like mine. He saw it in a picture once.
God, that was like the last thing she had left of their relationship. And I love how it glitches as she cries, like Beatrice's brain hates reliving this girl's annoying behavior.
And you'll give the baby up for adoption.
No.
You think you want this, but you don't. Not like this.
Mrs. Horseman.
Don't.
The passion in her voice and body language is honestly inspiring. She's trying to convince her past self not to do this. And that might be why she dislikes Henrietta so much. She reminds her of her young self. This dual birth scene is both excellent storytelling and an amazing way to reveal Hollyhock's origins. And cutting in the struggle with young Beatrice and her doll is a fantastic way to tie it in thematically with Beatrice's feelings towards babies and children and the birth of Hollyhock and Bojack. Oh god, that pitch down of the music in the background just unsettles the fuck out of me and prepares me so well emotionally for what's about to come. And the immediate lighting change is crazy. The tone shifts so severely all throughout this episode, but this one is the harshest. And these random servants having their faces scratched out is a great subtle way to show the audience why we have some people with their faces scratched out. It's people she doesn't want to remember.
It all must be destroyed for your own good.
I need to hold her.
This is for your own good.
The parallels are so perfect, too. She became her father, trying to protect her younger self from something she viewed as a mistake.
But not my baby!
Yes, especially your baby. See, doesn't that feel better?
Joseph's insensitive way of speaking is so creepy, too. He just doesn't respond to her crying or tantrum in any way. Talking to her in that baby voice. It's demeaning and awful. Such a raw and emotional scream, with the baby's face melting in the fire too, animated fully, paired with Henrietta's scream and the fear that she'll never get to hold her baby. Just absolute perfection. One of the most horrific and most disgusting feeling moments in the entire series. I'm adding 5 points just for that. That scratch that Henrietta kind of has over her face, overtaking her mind and forcing her back to this memory that she really doesn't want to relive, is really scary stuff, but a very smart transition.
You don't want to end up like your mother now, do you?
Joseph looks like the devil. Fitting. And he is basically threatening her with a lobotomy. Jesus Christ, she's like 8.
One day this will all be a pleasant memory.
The irony. And just this fade back to present Beatrice shows that this chaos is what's going on all the time in her head. Honestly, more effective horror than most horror movies I've seen.
Where am I?
You're in Michigan.
And this little flinch Bojack gives, he sees that she's just a confused woman now, and he doesn't want to, but he decides to give her peace instead of torturing her like she did to him.
Crickets are chirping, and the lake is still, and the night is full of stars.
The slow zoom and lack of music really add to the intimacy of this scene. I'm drawn in by this wonderfully detailed and beautiful picture that Bojack paints, with only Will Arnett's mesmerizing voice guiding me along. And I can wrap myself in that memory because of this intimacy, just like Beatrice does, and it allows you to feel this moment much more, and yes, made me cry.
Can you taste the ice cream, Mom?
Ooh, Will Arnett's defeated voice when asking her about the ice cream is like a gut punch to me every time.
Oh, Bojack, it's so delicious.
And the fact that she finally gets to taste the ice cream she was never given, I'm fucking crying over here. If you'd like to see more content from us and get these videos early, you can go to patreon.com/positivt. That's POSITVTY. Support us there for more content and early content, and it's a great way to help out the channel. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye.